So we'll quickly talk about imposter syndrome. And this is very, very dear to my heart because it's something that I experienced before I knew the name for it. And I want to believe that most immigrants did experience this, even without knowing the name, or maybe some of them knew the name when they experienced it. It's a psychological pattern where a person doubts their skills, their talents, or accomplishments. And they fear that maybe they're a fraud, they don't belong here, even though there's evidence that they're competent. Maybe they have the certification, they have the degrees and all of that. So with imposter syndrome, the person is constantly questioning themselves or feeling like, do I belong here? Everyone else is smarter than me. Everyone else seems to be more accomplished, more together, more advanced. When will they realize that I am not as competent as them? Is it with the next question that will be asked in the meeting? Is it with the answer that I'll give? They'll realize that maybe she's not as competent. Why should I be here when others are better than I am? And this imposter syndrome is real. A lot of immigrants and people that enter new culture. I'll give an example. During my study, I had to spend some time in Germany. And the first month of spending time in Germany, I had experienced the culture shock of coming to the UK, and then I went to Germany. It was another culture shock, but it was more of the imposter syndrome. I was constantly feeling like everyone was better. Everyone knew this. Did I belong here? Should I be here? Why am I here? And with the next answer that I'll give, they'll probably realize that I don't know what in the world I'm talking about. And the cycle of the imposter syndrome, you have a task or a project or a question, and then you begin to feel anxious. Oh, you procrastinate. And sometimes the procrastination you don't realize is because you don't feel that you're equal to the task. Sometimes you over prepare, but you eventually complete the task because most times you don't have a choice. And then you feel, I have finally done it. It's out of the way. Then you begin to rationalize. Maybe I was lucky. It just happened. Anyone could have done that. And when somebody compliments you to say, oh, that was a very good job, that was a very good presentation, you're like, yeah, maybe anybody could have done that. I might have been lucky. And you dismiss the compliment. And what you don't realize is that feeds back into the imposter syndrome. And the next time you're given a task, because you haven't harnessed the positive of the last task, you begin to feel the imposter syndrome again, and it goes in a loop like that. And I want to talk a bit about over preparing because it's something I have experienced. I realized a few months ago that whenever I have a meeting at work, I am always in the lab day and night. I work because I want to produce a ton of results. I want to go into that meeting with as much results I can have. And of course I do that. I go into the meeting. I work up till 10 minutes to the meeting. And after the meeting, I'm coming back feeling like someone had just poured cold water all over me. And my husband will be like, how was the meeting? And I'm like, it was good. I went with the results. But then I had not sat down to critically think of the result, to analyze the result. Why? Because I was so focused on preparing so much data for the meeting because I wanted to feel like I fit in here. I wanted to feel like with all of these results, I proved to you beyond reasonable doubt that I am competent, right? So I started to walk back, and we'll talk about how to deal with imposter syndrome. I decided to take a break because it happened 2-3 times and it was too much pressure. And I started to take a break. What is this that I'm feeling? What is the name of what I'm feeling? And I knew it was imposter syndrome showing itself with over preparing. I named it. And then I sat down. Okay, Because of this, I prepare a lot. I don't think about it. I just rush into the meeting just to show the results. And I had to step back and say, okay, I am competent. I have this, and take stock of what I have, the skills that I have, and acknowledge what is going on. Then lay down sort of my own regulations to deal with it. Okay, if I have a meeting tomorrow, I stop producing data for that meeting today. Even if I do any work, it wouldn't go into that meeting. I will spend time processing the data that I have for the meeting, thinking about it, understanding it, critically analyzing it, so that I am more relaxed when delivering the data, so that I understand it for myself. I'm not in such a rush to bring everything to show. So we need to understand, what is it I'm feeling? Name it. Name what you're feeling. Sit down. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself credit. Take stock of who you are, what you have, the skills, the talent, everything that you're bringing to the table. Take stock of that. You're not saying that, or you're not doing that to be proud or anything, but you're doing it to encourage yourself, to let yourself know that you belong in the room. Acknowledge that it's because it's a new environment, or it's because you're a minority here, or whatever reason. This is why I feel the way I'm feeling. Then identify areas which you actually do need to improve. So for me, I knew I needed to improve on my critical thinking after running and producing data. So I had to do that work. I need to critically analyze my data before going into the meeting. I can't just carry the data and go into the meeting and then I don't know what to say about it, right? So list actionable steps that will help you achieve the goal of whatever it is you need to do, and ask for help. Ask people around, ask your support system, ask for help.